Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatley Tone's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. Now in today's video I want to talk to you about something that's a bit of a hot topic at the moment, and that is Blu-Ray Gate. The fact that there is no Blu-ray disc included in the forthcoming Revolver box set. So when it was announced a couple of weeks ago, I did an introductory video announcing all the different formats that came in, and it was quite obvious from that there was no Blu-ray disc included. And if you wanted the Dolby Atmos mix and the high-res audio files, it was going to be downloading or streaming, and a lot of people were very upset about it. Lots of people commented on that video about how they were really angry, upset about. For some people it was a deal breaker. There's no Blu-ray, I don't want it, I'm just going to buy like the 2 CD version, and of course that is people's prerogative. So when Apple and Universal Music and all the other outlets that are selling the Revolver box set made their big announcement, it was all very cloak and dagger about how the Dolby Atmos mixes and the high-res audio were going to be delivered. They weren't clear about it at all. It just said download and streaming. And when I did that introductory video, I assumed that if you bought the Super Deluxe box set, you would get a download card in there and be able to download the mixes from that, and you just stick them on one of these, a USB stick, and stick it in your Blu-ray player or your AV amp, and you'll be able to hear these mixes through that. And I'm still not sure whether that is the case or it isn't the case, because no one seems to know. The only place that I've seen it actually in print that there is a download card in there is in the British magazine Uncut, and they are the only people that have said that. And when only one person says that, it makes you doubt it straight away. So I don't even know if that is going to be the case. I think, for me personally, the lack of a Blu-ray is not a massive thing. I would have liked to have had it, but it's not a deal breaker. For me, what I want from the Revolver box set is a really good balanced stereo mix, all the outtakes that they can throw at us, and the lovely book. But it's not just about me. It's, you know, there are a lot of people that really like these other mixes and are very disappointed about them, and that's why I'm making this video. And I'm going to be looking at a little theory that I've got as why there is no Blu-ray in this package in a minute. But let's just talk about what we do know. And what we do know is that there is no 5.1 mix. There is a Dolby Atmos mix and there is high-res audio. Now, as far as high-res audio goes, that's the thing that I'm most interested in personally. I've got 5.1 set up, and with the other albums I've listened to the 5.1 mixes maybe once or twice. I find them interesting, I find them fascinating in places, but from my own personal point of view, I find it a little bit disconcerting when it's an album that I'm really familiar with, when all of a sudden I've got a tambourine clanging away in my left ear hole and a hi-hat clapping away in my right ear hole. It doesn't seem like a natural way to listen to music. I still like to listen to my music coming at me from front to back rather than it being sort of all around me. But that's just me. I do know that loads of people really like these 5.1 and Dolby Atmos mixes. So the high-res audio is a big miss. If there's no download card, it is a big miss for me. I have seen that on Qobuz, that I do subscribe to Qobuz, it's a high-res audio streaming service. You can pre-order what they're calling the Revolver Digital Audio Collection, which is basically the whole package. So it's the album, the mono mix, and all the outtakes and the EP all in one package as high-res audio files. But they're charging £43 for it. I think you can get it about half price if you subscribe to Qobuz, and you've got the subscription that allows you to download high-res audio files as well. But that's a lot of money. So if there's no download card, they're basically asking people that want high-res audio files to buy it again, and that is taking liberties. If we want to calculate exactly how much of a liberty it is, it's easy to do, because we've got a direct comparison. Almost a year ago to the date, we had the Let It Be Super Deluxe Box Set, and in that box set there were 57 tracks. In the Revolver box set there are 63. The Let It Be box set ran for 2 hours and 44 minutes of music, and the Revolver box set runs at 2 hours and 42 minutes of music. So they're almost identical, apart from one thing, and that is that the Let It Be box set had the Blu-ray in it, and this one didn't. Now, the starting price, and I apologise to overseas viewers for quoting in sterling, but it's easier for me to do that. And the starting price for Let It Be a year ago was £105, remember, including the Blu-ray. And the starting price for Revolver in 2022 is £125, so it's £20 more, but no Blu-ray. So that's really what we're losing. We're paying £20 more and we're getting less content. Incidentally, the price of the CD box set in America from Amazon.com or any other territories that use Amazon.com is a little bit cheaper. It's $111, which converts to about £103 in sterling. So it's about £22 cheaper in America. You're getting a bargain, but still no Blu-ray. I want to give a shout out and a big thank you to one of the subscribers to this channel, Marcus, who's been doing some digging around, trying to find out about the Dolby Atmos mix and the high-res audio files, how we get them, will they be free, you know, will there be a download card, will they be downloadable, will they be streaming only, that sort of thing. He's been emailing Apple, and sadly at the time of me making this video it still hasn't been concluded, so we're still a bit in the dark about that. I think that we know that we are going to be able to download the high-res audio files if we want to pay for them again. I thank Marcus for his work on that. Thank you for messaging me the information that you were able to get. Now, he did point me in the direction of a podcast video from Beatles Free for All, and they've managed to get an interview with Giles Martin, and very interesting it was too. Giles was talking about the mixing process of all the tracks and how what sounds different on each track and that sort of thing, and made it sound even more delicious than we were expecting. And I guess that's his job, really. But they did ask him about why there was no Blu-ray disc in the package, and he said, well, it's not his decision. He doesn't make those sort of decisions. That's an Apple decision. But he said that Apple were aware that there had been a huge kickback from fans against there not being a Blu-ray included in the package, and hopefully they would resolve that in the future. Now, whether that means that they will eventually release a Blu-ray for Revolver with all the stuff on it that we're used to getting, I'm not sure, or whether it just means that in the future going forward they will revert back to the old format of including a Blu-ray disc in the package for Revolver and Beatles for Sale, etc, etc. I don't know, but let's hope they do. And it is really good that Apple are aware that the fans aren't happy. But why did they decide not to include the Blu-ray in this package? Well, I've got a theory, and I think it's to do with this: the Get Back DVD Blu-ray. I know what you're thinking. What's Get Back got to do with Revolver? Well, I'll tell you, because I read on the Showbiz 411 website the other day that this 5 Emmy award-winning series has sold really poorly. I think they've sold about 43,000 copies of this box set. I think that's about 12,000 DVDs and about 31,000 Blu-rays. And what is the message that that sends out? It sends out the message that Beatles fans are not interested in physical media. They're happy to carry on streaming it on Disney Plus. Now, whether that's the truth or not, and you might be thinking, well, how did they, you know, if these figures have just come out, how did they know that it was gonna sell so badly that they could make that decision ahead of Revolver? Well, you know, the Apple would have known that this was going to sell really badly before it even came out, because as we know, all the die-hard fans will dive into pre-sales, and at the very latest they'll get it sort of the first week that it comes out. You know, everything sells the most copies during its first week of release, so they would have known before it even came out that sales were going to be bad just by the number of pre-orders that they had for it. I mean, to sell, you know, 42,000 copies of this fantastic series is just incredible. And it's, you know, I think the reason why it didn't sell well is not because it's rubbish, because it's brilliant. You know, even That's My Life by Freddie Lennon has sold more copies than this. I mean, this won 5 Emmys. It's a fantastic series, and that's not the reason. The reason why it hasn't sold well is numerous. You know, the fact that they didn't put any extras on this, despite Peter Jackson, you know, saying he's got all this great stuff to share. That contributed to it. The fact that they gave Disney so much control. I mean, I can't believe that a company the size of Apple, and the company that generates the revenue that Apple does, didn't kick back against Disney on this. They gave them so much control, and that was the problem. The fact that there's no extras on it meant that people didn't need to buy it. They just could carry on streaming it on Disney Plus. And you know, I think that is the reason. And you know, like I say, the message that it set, the bad sales of this sends to Apple is that Beatles fans don't want physical media. And I don't think that is the case, because if they had put extras on this, it would have sold bucket loads. It would have been one of the biggest selling packages that Disney had ever released. No, that's not true. It wouldn't have sold more than the Jungle Book, would it? So now that the dust has settled on the Revolver box set, and we know that we're not getting a Blu-ray, how do you feel about it now? Especially if you're one of those disgruntled people that was having a knee-jerk reaction right at the start. Are you still really upset about it? Do tell me down in the comments. And you know, if it's a deal breaker for you, if you're not buying the Revolver box set because there's no Blu-ray, tell me about it. And if you know any information about the high-res audio and the Dolby Atmos mixes, how we're getting them, where we're getting them, that sort of stuff that I haven't covered in this video, please tell me down in the comments. You know, I read all your comments, I answer all your comments, and as always, I thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.